You ask how we got so many yes response, and I think that in this last quarter, there were like 283 that sold units across these 4 rooftops. Well, here's the thing. If you look traditionally to NADA metrics and say that owner base retention basically has about a 12% net closing rate, and that's some old school stuff. But the reality of it is part of the reason for that is because you were calling so blindly without a plan, saying, "Hey, we really need your car back on trade. Would you want to upgrade?" But that's a moot message nowadays. People have heard it so many times. Why I got so many yeses is because I called out with the right message at the right time for an actual viable need that one of my customers had. Because based on the previous relationship that I've had, and all the other actions inside of Auto Alert also lend to that. Because here's the thing, your customers are happy to take your call when you provide value to their ownership experience. So when I can call somebody, for example, in a Utah store where your new car registration is good for the first 2 years, the first part of that is calling it 11 months and saying, "Hey, you're used to having to re-register your car next month because it's been a year. Guess what? I just called to tell you don't need to worry about budgeting that this year. You know what? You don't need an inspection. You don't need a certificate. You don't need to renew those plates. But I'll call you next year at 23 months when that is going to be due, because I know I don't like unexpected expenses. By the way, how is everything going on that?" When you start and intentionally interact with your customers at value points or stress points in their ownership experience, then you gain more credibility so that when you do call again with either an upgrade offer or to meet one of their needs, they're more open to having that conversation.